What's up everyone, welcome back for another week's video. This week I want to talk about a kind of key concept idea that we can apply to almost all of our kayaking to help improve what we're doing and to kind of recruit more core power into everything that we're doing so that we can be a bit more efficient and a bit more effective and just have an easier time going down the river. We can use this when we're talking about freestyle stuff or when we're talking about just straight up going downstream. We can use it if we're a beginner or an advanced paddler. Pretty much everyone can benefit from this, and I think it's something we don't talk about, or I haven't heard enough people talking about this idea. And what it's called is the power box. So if you imagine when we hold our paddle out in front of us like this, if you imagine that there's a box and my two hands are two of the corners of the box, and then my elbows are corners of the box, so it's going to draw like kind of a rectangle in front of me like this. In this position here, I'm quite strong, and what's happening is it's like whenever I move and I maintain that box, it's forcing my core to move with me. You see how strong I am? And the more core power I can engage, the more muscles I have, the more power I have at my disposal with every single stroke, right? So whether that's a nice turning sweep stroke or a back sweep stroke or a forward stroke, if I can maintain this box position, I'm going to be able to recruit more core power, and that's going to give me, generally speaking, a more efficient outcome. Now, like with everything, there's no like really hard and fast set rules with kayaking, and there's going to be lots of times where we're going to end up breaking this box and it's not going to be most effective. Like when we're moving around in our roll position, right? Like to get to the roll position, we are obviously going to end up having to break that box to get effectively and efficiently into our roll position. But for a lot of stuff, especially surfing, especially moving around, especially turning your boat, if you're in this like core position, this power box position in front of you, you're using more core power. And now we can think about our body boat separation. So like if you imagine that we're separated here at our neck and we're separated here at our waist, we can keep these three things moving independently, and also together they can work in unison to help our boats move one way or the other way. We can use this even when we're doing more complicated maneuvers, like we're boofing a waterfall. It's that same idea. We wind up to take that boof stroke, and then maintaining that like strong power box, I'm unwinding my core and pushing forwards with my hips simultaneously. That's going to lift my boat up and out away from that waterfall that you're going down. So it's another small thing, but the more time you can have in this powerful box position and the less time you spend in these weaker triangle positions. So you see the opposite position here to the power box, that kind of like weakness triangle. Like if you imagine my triangle here in front of me, this position is very weak. It's just forcing power only through that arm really, which is not, like unless you have massive biceps, is not very productive or very useful. And that's going to slow you down in the long run. In the short run, you might be like, well, Seth, I lift weights every day and I'm the mountain. Like that's cool. That might get you so far. But over the longer span of time, like we want to be kayaking really hard for as long as we can, or whatever our peak level is for as long as possible. You're ultimately, if you're relying on that like arm power, at some point, if your arm gets injured, now you can't kayak. So you need to keep that in mind. We need to kind of balance that a little bit. So take this power box idea, whether you're kayaking for the first time or whether you're kayaking for your 1 millionth time. Think about that power box, not too far out here, not too closed in, just somewhere around that kind of that nice medium range. Think about that power box, think about using it, think about how you can apply it to every single thing you do. Just give it a try. Let me know in the comments if it's useful for you or not. If it is, great. If it's not, tell me why not, and tell me what will be better for you or more useful for you. Like I said, it's not going to be for every single situation, but if you try and apply it as often as you can, you might find it's more useful than you think. All right, catch you next week. Peace.